Pleasure to be today with you and to open B2B meeting which has the goal to boost tourism visits of my dear Hungarians to my beloved Serbia and to my own city of Belgrade. I am very thankful that today we have the honor by presence of Mrs. Labovic, Director of the Tourist Organization of Serbia, and Mr. Popovic, Director of Tourist Organization of Belgrade. The guest of honor is Mrs. Ivana Serb, who will be announced as the Ambassador of Tourism in Turkey by Serbia today. Thanks to the initial move of our two presidents, we came to this point that we have a direct flight from Ankara to Belgrade and back, which will help to boost already excellent, actually the best possible bilateral relations between our two countries, and tourism should follow the bilateral relations what we already have. So we have to give the opportunity to our dear citizens from both sides to introduce each other much better than we had possibilities before. So I'm happy to see here the people from the Turkish Airlines, people from the Anadolu Jet, and I'm very grateful and thankful for them that they recognize the interest of both of our countries, not only the economic but the political as well. So thank you, gentlemen, for your great efforts helping us that we came today here in this position that we are talking about not starting but boosting the tourism among our two countries. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all a very successful day and successful business.
Distinguished guests, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Republic of Serbia, dear representatives of tourism trade of Turkey and Serbia, representatives of media, dear colleagues and friends, I am very happy to be able today to speak in front of Tourism Organization of Serbia about what we are offering to tourists in Turkey. I'm really grateful that we have this event today here, since Turkey is a very important market for Serbia. Just a few informations regarding the importance of tourism market. For more than 5 years now, tourists from Turkey are among top 5 of tourists who come to Serbia, of international tourists. But in the last 2 years, travelers from Turkey are second largest market for Serbia. They're top 2 regarding the arrivals and overnight stays, which shows us how interesting we are for the Turkish market, but also giving us opportunity to expand it even more, because most of the travelers who come to Serbia are coming to our capital city, Belgrade, and other cities. And we see the opportunity to expand it a bit more. So that's why we are here today to show you what you can experience in Serbia. As our logo says, Experience Serbia. Through different tourism products, we are offering different experiences. And in that sense, the city break is always #1 when tourists from Turkey are concerned. I would also like to mention with one of the very important things for tourists who are coming from Turkey and advantages of Serbia's tourism destination to the Turkish market is that first of all we are visa-free. Secondly, we have great accessibility and connectivity between our two countries. I will just mention that we have 3 daily flights by Turkish Airlines from Istanbul to Belgrade. We also have flights of Air Serbian Pegasus from Istanbul to Belgrade. We have a very important direct flight from Ankara to Belgrade, and something that is also very new is that we have connection through Air Serbia with 2 other cities in Serbia, and that is Kraljevo and Niš, which means that now we are closer to the tourists who are coming from Turkey, to bring them to the central and to the southern part of Serbia, which would be very interesting, especially for those who like to come to Serbia, who are coming to Serbia, especially in Belgrade and the neighboring cities. Now they can explore more. So, to start with our star for not only for the Turkish tourists, but for all international travelers who are coming to Serbia, because more than 52% of all international travelers are coming to Belgrade. I will not be talking in too many details about Belgrade because I have my colleague, Mr. Popovic from Belgrade, so that's his field of expertise. But few things I will just say. Some sites that are must-see, among them the first that I would stress out is the Belgrade Fortress and Kalemegdan Park, because it is on the confluence of Sava and the Danube River, so the combination of history, culture, beautiful nature, it's all there, and it's all in the city center of Belgrade. But because Belgrade is not only about history and culture, but it is also about future and about modern. We also have the Belgrade waterfront with a lot of restaurants, bars. The biggest shopping mall is located there, and it's very close to the Belgrade Fortress, and it's a must-see site for all tourists who come to Serbia. They find it very interesting. Something else that I would add to those two things is the fact that gastronomy is positioned very high in our tourism offerings. And last year we got the, let's say, approval and certificate that it's not only that we are saying that we have the great gastronomy, but somebody who is above all of the gastronomic experiences, as the Michelin came to Serbia. So now we have 14 restaurants in Belgrade recommended by Michelin, and now in a few days from today, on Tuesday next week, we will introduce new gastronomic guide, Gomio, which is the second most important gastronomic guide in the world. So we even have something to prove that gastronomy in Serbia is really astonishing. We're coming to these 2 cities. We were calculating that practically 91% of all travelers coming from Turkey are coming to our cities. So that's something that you are most probably already also now connected with direct flight with Istanbul, a city full of historical sites, astonishing nature very close to it as well, and very, very tasty food and as well. I would mention the Danube Your Way, one of the experiences that we are also offering to our tourists who come to Serbia. Danube is 588 kilometers long through Serbia, and in Serbia it has its most beautiful part of it. So we have the part which is the widest, the narrowest, and the deepest in Serbia, but also a lot of historical sites are on its riverbanks, but also many medieval fortresses are on the riverbanks of the Danube. And I will also remind you that Danube is connecting Belgrade and Novi Sad, so it's very convenient for the one-day tours. You can think about that as well. When we are talking about Danube, we have to mention that on the riverbanks of Danube we have 2 national parks, so real germs of nature on its riverbanks. And since today here we have our colleague from Tourism Organization of India as well, and India is located between Belgrade and Novi Sad. I'm suggesting you to talk with a colleague after the meeting. he can give you more information about that city as well, which is also a convenient stopping point when you're doing the excursion from Belgrade to
Yes,
Novi Sad.
dear friends, I'm not here to praise Belgrade, I'm here to show that Belgrade is a must for all the people from Turkey. As you already know, we live on the same side of civilization and history, and it's just a small step from your country to my country. Why, they ask me in Belgrade, why people are so interested in Turkey, or Turkey, I'm sorry, and why people from Turkey are so interested in Belgrade in my case. We are just a little bit different to be interesting to each other, but we live in the same side of the street, and that was counts and that was important, and that's the reason, and that's how I explain why people from Turkey are the first one or the primary market for Belgrade in past 5, 6, maybe even 7 years, even in those 2 awful Corona years. Now, I have to say that even in those difficult and hard times, we survived. And I was happy to see that tourist industry and hospitality as a whole survived in Turkey, likewise in Belgrade. We even managed to open a new perspective, meaning that we now have direct flights from Ankara, Belgrade, due to persistency in a smaller part of tourism over the Belgrade, a much larger part of our ambassador here in Ankara.
Market for Belgrade that was 10 years ago, and our stand was very small. It looked like a small cuisine back then, but we had friends. We had Mr. Markovic, His Excellency, Mr. Markovic, who was back then in Istanbul, helping us all the way, and he introduced us to Ivana, and that's how it all started. Now, as they used to say, the rest is history, and the part of that history is happening now, and Ivana Serb is proclaimed to be the official promoter of the city of Belgrade here in your country.
Evet, 3 puta se ljubimo, ovdje u Turskoj. Prvo, dobrodošli u Tursku, odnosno Ankaru. Ne znam na kom jeziku da pričam, ali pošto su turskom jeziku. Evet, çok mutluyum. Böyle büyük bir onuru verdiğiniz için. Zaten Belgrad Turizm Büyükelçisi, Sırbistan Büyükelçisi Popovic, Maria Hanım, Sayın Maria Hanım da herkese çok teşekkür ediyorum. Ben çok şanslıyım diyebilirim. Çünkü annem Sırbistan ama babam Türkiye. İki ülke arasında büyüdüm, yaşıyorum. Ama tabii ki her zaman kalbimde Sırbistan olduğu için ben bu geldiğim ülkede size tanıtmak istiyorum. Size biraz daha yakın göstermek istiyorum. İnşallah uzun süreçte hep beraber benim ve sizin sayende Sırbistan turizmi ve Belgrad turizmi daha büyüteceğiz. Gittiniz eminim. Sırbistan sokaklarında, özellikle Belgrad sokakları gezdiğim zaman da çok Türk vatandaşları görüyorum. Hem de resim çekmek istiyorlar, hem de bizim ilgili Sırbistan yemekleri, kültürünün, insanların güzelliğine hayran kalan olan kişilerle çok karşılaşıyorum. Lütfen gelin, hakikaten müthiş bir insanlar, sıcak, misafirperver insanlar. Zaten giden biliyor ama yemyeşil bir ülkede sizi davet ediyorum. Mutlaka bize yalnız bırakmayın. Uçaklarımız zaten mevcut. Ankara'daki uçuşlarımız da zaten artık mevcut. Her şey de çok daha kolaylaştı. Karayolda da gidebilirsiniz eğer istiyorsunuz. Ama tabii ki hepinize bekliyoruz. Sırbistan'da, Belgrad'a hoş geldiniz.
You're going to translate me afterwards, so I will know what she said. Now, the best part of it is that I'm going to spoil her photographs because you have a photo opportunity with Ivana, and I'm to be there just to spoil the photograph. but nevertheless, after even it's only natural to see the short movie about Belgrade. Thank you, and please, anything you want to ask, I'll be over there trying again to persuade you to come to Belgrade. Thank you.
Maybe come there and see you.
Of course. Yeah. I'm director of sales. So just schedule.